Coming up on CPTV, Hannah Morgan returns with a new installment of That's What She Said. We meet 3 more new staff members in Carpool Karaoke, and the girls' basketball team preps for their upcoming season. Hi, I'm Drew Zimmerman.
And I'm Reese Grappentine.
Welcome to CPTV. Mitch Bold will have your 5-day weather forecast, and Jack Gardner will bring us CP sports highlights.
Here's what's happening at Crown Point High School.
CPHS has always had a policy regarding the wearing of hats in the school building during school hours. However, at the start of the 2016-2017 school year, Crown Point School's Director of Safety and Security, Milan Danjanovic, made a point to strictly enforce this policy. Here with more is Ashley Reed.
One of the most harmless rules at CPHS has been irritating students since August 18th. The dress code at CPHS has been bent and broken for many years, yet the no hat rule still seems to come into play. I went around the halls of CPHS asking students and staff how they felt about this rule.
I think school's a professional place, so I believe that we should dress like it, and I think hats might be a distraction, so no.
I really don't see a problem with it, but rules are rules, so we can't do much about it at this point.
No, it's not a joke, because of the fact that we're trying to keep certain kind of elements out of our building, and by having that too, and it's respect though too, of their fellow peers and of women and everything else, not to be wearing a hat inside of a building. Well, they will be asked once to remove it. If they remove it and then put it back on, we'll ask them again. Then after that, that's when the hat will be taken and turned into the principal, and then they'll have to get it back from them. And if it's repeated again, then it'll be up to the principal on any kind of discipline concerning insubordination to a principal.
So is this no hat rule as harmless as we think? For CPTV, I'm Ashley Reed.
While there is no mention of the word hat in the new electronic student handbook found on the CPHS website, on page 11 and 12 the handbook reads, "Head coverings must be approved by administration." CPHS administration did confirm to CPTV that baseball hats and similar types of hat are not currently approved by the administration. Christmas is in December, right? Some have even pushed the holiday into early November, but Christmas in October? Take a look around. Stores and TV commercials have already started their Christmas season. Here with more is Savannah Everson.
This our town of Halloween. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way.
Think about it. How many times have you walked into a store this month and seen Christmas decorations? Maybe you've been excited or maybe even annoyed. Regardless, Christmas isn't in October for a reason. We asked some Crown Point students how they felt about this situation.
I think it's a little early to start with Christmas decorations since Halloween hasn't really happened yet, and they're still selling Halloween stuff, but they should really start selling Christmas stuff like maybe the week of Thanksgiving.
I put up my Christmas tree earlier this year in August, so yeah, I love Christmas.
If you're going to put decorations and stores are going to decorate for it, it should be at least after Halloween. So November is okay, but Christmas and October, I'm not okay with.
No matter the holiday, CP students seem to be excited about the upcoming months. For CPTV, I'm Peyton Belcher.
Yearbooks are being sold for the price of $65 until November 1st. To purchase a yearbook, go to the CPHS website and click Yearbook Ordering under the site's shortcuts. The CPHS Alumni Association, in conjunction with the National Honor Society, is hosting a Princess Tea Party in the cafeteria on December 3rd from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The cost is $25 per participant and includes a trumpet fanfare at the entrance, goodie bags, door prizes, brunch, face painting, princess performances, and more. This is a great activity for younger siblings. For tickets, call Alumni Association Representative Ron Hampton at 669-1908. In 2008, Barack Obama was selected as the first black president of the United States. And now, in 2016, Secretary of State Hillary Rodham Clinton could possibly be elected as the first woman president of the United States. What effect, if any, will this have on the U.S. as a nation? Hannah Morgan is here to give us her perspective in a segment called That's What She Said.
With a little over a week before Election Day, many are wondering the fate of our country if Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton and her running mate Tim Kaine become President and Vice President of the United States. For middle-of-the-spectrum Democrats and left-wing liberals alike, Secretary Clinton seems like the viable option. Her stance on many world issues are just about as left as one can vote without casting for Green Party candidate Jill Stein. So what would the words President Hillary Clinton mean to us, the middle-class American citizens? It would mean a push towards a safer America, one where guns are only given to law-abiding citizens and not those with bad intentions. It would mean being a step closer to affordable health care for all, not just the lucky few. It would mean a growth in income for the middle class and less tax breaks to the billionaires who sit on their pretty pile of money made by the men and women who work for them. But since the show is called That's What She Said, maybe I should talk a little bit about what this would mean for women. It would mean a woman's right to choose what happens to her body without leaving it up to a stuffy man in a suit who claims to understand where we're coming from. It would finally mean equal pay for women who work the same jobs as their co-workers for an estimated 73 cents on the dollar. Most of all, it would mean that the big fancy chair in the Oval Office wouldn't be filled by an egotistical maniac who wants to ban all of an entire religion from entering our so-called free country and just assumes everyone who isn't white comes from the inner cities. Speaking of Mr. Trump, it's a sad day in right-wing land when a former Republican National Committee chairman issues a statement saying he won't be voting for the GOP's presidential nominee. Even his unfortunate pick for Vice President, Mike Pence, says he can't condone what was said by him after the tapes were released where Trump claimed to have an ungiven right over women's bodies because of his wealth. But as Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. And that's what she said.
Last Wednesday, students in 9th, 10th, and 11th grade took the PSAT test, a national test that can ultimately provide National Merit Scholarships to 11th grade students who achieve a certain score on the exam. This year, moments after the exam, students took to Twitter with the hashtag PSAT to humor themselves and us. CPTV's Elizabeth Walters brings you more.
Last Wednesday, majority of high school students took the PSAT. The PSAT is a standardized test administered by the College Board. This year, the College Board has made a change and chose to let schools select certain freshmen to take the PSAT on their laptops. One thing that has not changed is the memes that come after the students take the tests. With all these memes going around, I decided to ask students how they felt about the test and the memes.
I thought the PSAT was fairly easy. I didn't feel a lot of pressure being only a sophomore. The only thing that threw me off was the section where you had to fill in the blank during the math part. Otherwise, since it doesn't go towards your overall grade, I'm fine with it. I think the PSAT memes are actually kind of funny. I retweeted a couple of them. But you're not supposed to talk about the test, but I don't think it will affect anyone.
I think that the PSATs are kind of like a waste of time and that we should be learning stuff that actually matters. But at the same time, it was fun to have kind of like a free day.
PSATs, they were hard. They were some of the questions I didn't really know the answers to, but some of the teachers helped us study through it.
I thought it went well. It was just a lot of pressure for me. I think that they make more of a big deal out of it than what it should be. It's pretty nerve-wracking, I feel like, especially for the juniors. I mean, I'm a sophomore, but I was nervous taking it. Overall, I think it was fine. I think they're kind of funny, but I do think it's kind of out of hand because you're not supposed to say anything about the test, and I guess you're breaking the contract that you signed in a way. So they're funny, but then they're kind of immature. Although we were not allowed to talk about the PSAT in full because of a signed contract, we still got some feedback from the students. For CPTV, I'm Elizabeth Walters.
This year brought a lot of new faces to the faculty and staff of CPHS. We've taken a page out of James Corden's Late Late Show handbook as a way to get to know these new members of our community through our own version of Carpool Karaoke. This week, Reese takes a ride with 3 teachers that all came to us with a CPHS past.
Hey guys, what's going on?
How you doing?
Hey, what's up? What's up? How are you guys doing today?
Doing good, doing good. It's a little rainy, but
it is a little rainy. Oh, this door is terrible. We are moving and the door is still open. All right, guys. So many people in CPHS don't actually know who you are since you guys are new teachers to the school. So why don't you introduce yourselves to the class?
I'm Gabby Raspopovich, and I teach PE and health.
I am Tori Welker, and I teach LRE math.
Did you guys actually go to Crown Point? You guys went to Crown Point, right?
Yeah, we both did, and we actually went to school together. So.
Did you guys play volleyball together?
Yep, we did for 3 years.
That's pretty cool. So do you guys think that high school is the same as when you left it?
I think it's a lot different.
One of the things that's changed is the music. Are you guys familiar with the top 10 hits right now?
Probably a few, maybe.
Do you guys want to sing the #1 song right now?
I believe I know what that one is.
The day I met you, I forgot just how I left you. I was insane. Stay. Play that Blink 182 song. That beat to death in Tucson. Okay. I know it breaks your heart. I moved to the city in a broke down car. And 4 years no calls. And now you're looking pretty in a hotel bar. And I can't stop. In our last segment, we had 2 female teachers, and I realized I have 2 female teachers again, and I think I need a little bit of testosterone in my car.
Let's see.
Hello?
Oh, blacked out.
Hey!
Hey, what's going on?
What's going on? Welcome to the carpool.
Can you get that door shut? I struggled.
There's a struggle with it.
Oh, you're good.
I just smashed my hand.
Blake's got it. How's it going, Mr. Yeager?
It's going great. How's everybody doing in here?
We're
Super.
doing great.
Awesome.
We're just waiting for you.
Yeah, we were.
Wow, what an honor and privilege.
Mr. Yeager, you went to Crown Point High School too, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Did you ever do any sports or anything?
I did. I swam, and that was it.
That was it.
He wasn't very good on land.
No.
I understand that you made a special request for this episode of Carpool Karaoke. When I first saw her bikini top on her, she's popping right out of the South Georgia water. But oh good Lord, she had the long tan legs, couldn't help myself, so I walked up and said, baby, you're a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise. Got my back roads on, stop sign through the middle of the little phone town with you. Brand new Chevy with a little kid, looking a hell of a lot better with you up in there. So baby, you're a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise. Well, you guys are all gifted athletically, right?
And vocally.
And vocally. So, Mr. Yeager, what made you want to be a teacher at Crown Point High School?
Well, you know, I had the opportunity to come back, which I was really excited about. I always wanted to be a PE teacher. And given the opportunity to come back and be able to work with Ms. Raspopovich and Mr. Bruno was something that we always kind of talk about, but it never had the ability to happen until this year, so we were super excited about it.
All right, where did you all go to college?
I went to St. Joseph's in Rensselaer.
Indiana State University in Terre Haute.
And I went to South Dakota State University, Jackrabbits.
Wow, what made you want to go to South Dakota?
Well, I was a swimmer. I swam there for 4 years, so that was one big part. I had a couple friends from Portage and Chesterton that also swam there. So
Really,
they kind of got
actually
me out.
just wanted to wear cowboy boots.
And I,
all the time.
And, you know, I do own my share of cowboy boots now, but that's besides the point. That wasn't
great.
the question.
What made you want to pick those colleges?
For me, I liked it was close to home. It was a smaller school. I really wasn't into the huge schools. It was a little overwhelming for me. So St. Joe's is actually about half the size of Crown Point High School. So that was even kind of a little bit of a culture shock going somewhere smaller.
That's actually pretty cool. Miss Welker, what made you want to go to Indiana State University?
They have a really great education college there. So that was a great opportunity. I got to double major within 4 years. So
what did you double major in, may I ask?
Elementary and special education.
That's great. That's great. How about you, Mr. Yeager?
It ended up being, for me, I went to a couple colleges that didn't have my major for that wanted me to swim for them. So I ended up making the decision to go to South Dakota State because they were one of the few colleges that offered me to swim and offered the PE degree that I wanted. So process of elimination helped with a little bit of that.
Since you guys were all athletes in high school, I thought it would be appropriate to play some jock rock.
There we go.
Is everyone familiar with jock rock?
Who's not familiar with jock rock?
It's probably what we had on our warm-up CDs in high school.
That's still getting played.
Well, let's get to it.
A big disgrace, making your head all over the place. Singing, we will rock you. We will rock you. Wow.
understand you guys have practices to get to today, so I don't want to keep you from your coaching. So thank you guys so much for being on this episode of Carpool Karaoke.
No, thanks for having us. It was great.
Let's do it again sometime.
Fantastic.
I'm stuck again.
It was unavoidable, and we knew fall would kick in at some point as we finally hit a cold stretch. Are the warmer temps gone for good? Here at the 5-day weather forecast is Mitch Bulda.
Over the last week, we've seen temps ranging from the low 50s up to the low 70s. While today does feel like your typical fall day, the long-range forecast shows that we do have a few more 70-degree days left. Before we get to your long-range forecast, let's take a look at what we can expect for the rest of today. At noon, rain showers will begin to move back into the region with temps around 50 degrees. By 3 o'clock, we'll hit the day's high of 51, still with those rain showers continuing to fall throughout the afternoon. As we approach the 6 o'clock hour, we'll remain in the low 50s, but we can still expect to see a few sporadic showers in the area. Looking into your long-range forecast, tomorrow we'll see overcast skies with a high of 52 degrees. Friday, temps will warm nearly 10 degrees into the low 60s, but we can still see clouds mixing in with the sun. For Friday night, at the football game, you're going to want to bring a light jacket as temps are expected to only be around the mid-50s at kickoff. Heading into the weekend, Saturday, we'll see temps well above the October average of 52 with a high of 70 degrees and partly cloudy skies. Sunday, sky conditions will be very similar, but temps will drop back into the upper 50s. When you come back to school on Monday, we'll likely see our last 70-degree day with partly cloudy skies. And that's your 5-day forecast. Have a great rest of your week.
The volleyball team won their second straight sectional championship this weekend by sweeping every opponent. Here with the latest in CP Sports is CPTV's Jack Gardner.
CP Curls volleyball team started sectional play at Maryville this past Saturday. The Dogs faced Valpo in the semifinals and Michigan City in the finals, winning both matches in straight games 3-0, 3-0. The team faced Munster last night for a one-game regional championship, defeating the Mustangs, moving on to this Saturday's semi-state semifinal game at Huntington North. As we approach the month of November, we draw closer to the beginning of the girls' basketball season. Here with some perspective on the upcoming season is CPTV's Taylor Shmerkansky.
Coach Chris Seibert and the girls' basketball team are preparing for their 2016-2017 season. After an impressive 20-6 record and a second-place finish in conference last year, the Lady Bulldogs now have confidence to play with anyone. However, this team graduated 6 key players last year, so this inexperienced group will be looking to prove themselves throughout the season.
Replacing graduated players such as Hannah Albrecht will be a tough task, but won't stop this team's overall goal, according to Coach Seibert.
We have a lot of dedicated kids, a lot of kids that have put a lot of time in the gym over the spring and the summer and the fall, and we have great team chemistry, which I think is a critical element. Obviously, no one's going to be able to replace Hannah or a lot of those seniors, and they're not going to try to, but I think overall we're very excited about the team we have coming back. Our goal this year and every year is to win championships, to win the conference championship and to win a sectional championship and move on. The biggest thing for us is we want to be playing our best basketball at the end of the year. We understand with a lot of these kids being their first varsity experience that it may be a work in progress, and we just need to stay positive and keep working, and by the end of the year be playing our best basketball.
I think we have great chemistry. Like, a lot of the freshmen on the team are bonding with the older girls, which is different from past years, so that'll definitely help us. Just be more vocal and then obviously play hard every game and obviously bring more intensity to practices so we don't have to turn the switch on specifically for games. We can just stay at a high level pace.
How the team plays together will determine how this season goes, and there will be no easy breaks for this team as they start off with an early road test at Hanover Central on November 5th. For CPTV Sports, I'm Taylor Shmerkansky.
The girls' first game is on November 5th at Hanover Central. The Bulldogs were lucky enough to draw a bye for the first week of football sectional play and will now face Lake Central this Friday at home. Junior Ryan Bolda will take over for the Dogs as quarterback. The CPHS boys cross-country team qualified at last weekend's New Prairie Semi-State to compete at this weekend's IHSAA State Championship. Freshman Gino Cristofanelli finished first for the Dogs and 14th overall. 5 members of the CP team finished in the top 50 overall out of 101 runners. And that's it for sports.
And lastly, Pulse will be hosting their second annual dodgeball tournament on Halloween, October 31st at 6 p.m. in the Fieldhouse. Interested teams of 6 to 8 players should register in Vince Lewis's room, C220 by October 28th. This year, to fit the theme, teams will be wearing group costumes.
That'll do it for this show.
Remember, you can view this show as well as all of our past episodes at cptvmedia.com.
You can also follow us on Twitter at CPTV Media.
For Mitch Bolda, Jack Gardner, and all of us here at CPTV, I'm Drew Zimmerman.
And I'm Reese Grabentine.
We'll see you next week.
Take care.